You need to just come in and say we're recording now.
Well, you know what? Maybe next time
I think that's what you need to do.
Okay.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Buttery Males podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Brennan Borse. Sitting right next to me here in the proverbial landscape of podcasting is my other co-host, one of them, Rob Morrissey. Hey, Rob, how you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm good. I'm recording now, just so you know.
Hell yeah. They're going to hear this part.
Oh, they came in mid-intro. That's interesting. It's an interesting way to do it.
They're going to hear it from there.
So that's it. That's all of us.
Yes, Rob's not going to pass it off or anything like that. Good to hear from
Is
you,
that
Rob.
something we're doing?
Great to hear from you, bud. Zach, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm Zach Mortar. I'm also glad you guys are listening. I just got to say, Rob, you remind me of me stoned off my ass at Thanksgiving, man, because you just got a lot on your plate.
Yo, stir it up. That's right.
I regret nothing. That was a good joke.
Absolutely, Zach. And
Zach,
could you pass your plate down the line and
I'm a little hungry.
Could you feed our next? Could you just go ahead and feed our next co-host?
Belly.
He's over here. He's like, more? Can I? Not more. First? Can I have some first?
The first round, please. Yeah,
And,
I
don't need that fucking cranberry sauce, okay? Anyway, it's me, Jake Domanski, and that's all of us here at the Buttery Males podcast.com.
Podcast.
Are we still buying girlsnight.com? Is that still going to happen?
What?
I missed this. This must have been edited out of my own memory because I don't remember this.
This is the out cold chat room.
I wasn't here for this. You guys discuss it amongst yourselves. I was not present there.
What is the out cold chat room?
The online chat room.
None of us are
to like catfish each other. Girlsnight.com. We were supposed to buy that. That's supposed to be our website, but
yo, speaking of catfish, I'm not gonna lie. Whoever the fucking host of that catfish show on MTV was, I got a fake text message one time that it was saying it was that guy, and they needed to talk to me on the show. And I was like, what? I've never fucking catfished anybody, and as far as I know, I've never been catfished. And
holy shit.
Was it Nev Schulman?
Yeah, Nev. He was like, this is Nev, like from MTV's Catfish or whatever.
So,
and
it was a scam.
Brought up, it was a scam, but
okay. Interestingly enough, it's been brought up before on other pieces of media, but it's a very interesting thing. The movie While We're Young, the Noah Baumbach movie starring Ben Stiller and Adam Driver, is very clearly a movie about Noah Baumbach's real life experience with Nev Schulman, like getting tricked into helping him make his movie that he learned later on was fake, and just basically Noah Baumbach is the Ben Stiller character who is like this new young director. She's so like, he's me when I was younger, and like he wears fedoras, so I'll wear a fedora. It's really fucking bad, and it's actually the start of like my whole thing where it's like Noah Baumbach does not make a movie that is not made to resolve an argument that a person then cannot argue against. Because I put that on Movie Baby. You're gonna argue with 90 minutes of shitty movie? How could you?
He seems like a real slick piece of shit. Like anytime I've seen that Catfish show, it just seems like he's so ingenuine. I don't give a he's not trying to help anybody. He's just like, he's trying to get money for the show. He's trying to get me to be famous a little more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how were you scammed? What
like, what
is
what kind of scam starts with catfishing you by like pretending to be the host of
I think what Jake is saying is that it wasn't him.
Yeah,
I know, but what
him,
scam?
But it might have been.
What Ocean's 11 type scam starts with that? That's my question.
So this is how he scammed me. He showed up at my house in the middle of the night. He dragged me out of bed. He whooped my ass. He broke all my furniture.
This isn't a scam.
No, he was scamming me with a bat. He had this bat. He kept scamming me across the head with it, and I was like,
and
he's scamming me good.
He force fed you his own shit, and he said, "You just got catfish. The catfish eat shit."
I ate a bunch of fucking catfish earlier, dick. And I was like, "Damn, yeah, you didn't even you ate the bones," and I'm pulling out bones out of my teeth. Yeah.
Bones? What is this? The Zoe Deschanel special? Emily Deschanel special? Caleb Deschanel? All right.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Nev, fuck off. Stop scamming me every night.
Well, I mean, really, it's like George Clooney,
more than
Brad
once?
Pitt. Stop
every night.
scamming.
I gave him a key to my house.
I don't think I don't think you wanted to stop.
I'm saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, could you stop? I mean, but when I say stop, keep going, you know?
Right. So you gave him a key to your house.
I don't like that.
Yeah, wait, hold on. That's not how I feel about some situations involving consent.
Consent is what gets me off. So hi there, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Buttery Males podcast. We're starting from the top.
Yep. Cut that. Cut it out. Here we go. As, the Joey from Full House would say, I think. Is that his name? Freddie? Joey?
How you doing?
Freddie.
Okay.
Man, Fredward House, you know, from that show Full House. Hey.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to... What the heck are we talking about today, guys?
It's just a show about Hugh Laurie after a buffet. Oh, I'm a Full House right now.
And it's just always different food.
Playing poker, and he's like, "Oh, I'm a Full House right now.
I'm a painkiller addict who's limping up to the buffet, but you don't see it's the romaine lettuce." So we're recording this episode. We're recording this episode on November 1st. So last night was All Hallows Eve, and I guess let's just go around the table real quick. What did you guys do last night for Halloween? You know, I know it's weird times with COVID and everything like that, so I feel like everyone's got different levels of comfortability with their, want to do. I personally spent the night alone because I'm a sad piece of shit. But let's talk about you guys.
Yeah, I went to a big party. It was a practice your spit take party. So we all had drinks, and we're all putting the shit in our mouth, swishing it around, and then just like pretending like someone made us laugh really hard, and we're spitting all over each other. And I kind of got a rough throat today. I don't know, but I think it's because they were smoking cigs, I think.
You gotta invite me to the next spit take practice party you go to, because that sounds like a fucking blast.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like today, I just feel cold no matter how many layers I put on too. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe because it's just residing effects from being spit on so much last night. I might be moist still. I don't know.
Jake, do you get a certain number of layers on, and then all of a sudden, like, you're really hot, and then you gotta like strip them all off real quick, and then you're cold again? Is that kind of what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds normal. I think you're fine. I don't know. Okay. That's like it's a Halloween thing, probably.
Yeah.
Personally,
you know what?
That
makes sense. Halloween. Yep.
Only part of it I found questionable, and no judgment here, is when you and like 5 other dudes dressed up as Binkies, and then the entire rest of the party put on diapers and tried to put you in their mouth. That was like a weird part of the night that for me, I was like, don't know if that's totally sanitary.
Well, you're out of the loop. You're out.
I was gonna say, Brennan, were you watching on live stream? You watching on live chat? Team viewer, you watching the party?
He puts it on his Insta stories.
That's Insta live. Okay, I got. You were watching. You just said you were watching.
On his story, it's November 1st, the day after. I'm not like stalking. I don't have drones going in being like, "Ooh, how's Jake getting COVID? Oh, he's a Binky." That's ridiculous.
No, I'm saying these. I'm assuming, Jake, there was like a Twitch stream or some kind of live hookup to the event.
Yeah, there was Super Smash going on, so yeah, they had to Twitch stream that. But
okay, yeah.
The whole
so
Brennan, in the mouth thing,
get fucked on that one.
Yeah, get fucked, but they're just a bunch of improv guys, so it's like they're just practicing for a serious scene. It's not always comedy. So they wanted to, it's abstract work. We were just seeing what it's like to be an object in the room and kind of being manipulated by a baby figure.
What is it like to choose scenery, but like that scenery is another actor? I get it.
Oh, so
this
party was
Kafka-esque.
Yeah. This is right after, like, it's split up in segments. It's a pretty tight schedule. There's a few other events that happen. Those events I can't really share because it's kind of like a secret society kind of thing. That's why you didn't find the rest of the segments or events like on my Instagram story.
Sorry, it goes without saying. The running of the drrules.
Running of the drrules, where we all dress up as LP and Killer Mike, and we and that's it. Yeah, it's just like that. Yeah, and lastly, a little hint as to what happens. Adrenochrome. Do I have to say anything else? I mean, come on, guys. Secret society shit.
So yeah, sounds like a pretty like low key, chill.
Very chilled night. Very
Oh,
chill.
whoa, wait,
Halloween.
hold on. Don't careful, okay? We don't want to say that name too many times.
Yeah, we can't really say it.
All right.
Low
We can't.
key.
Whoa!
Guys, let's relax.
Hey,
I
come
don't-
on, come on. Now we really need to relax.
Well, how many
Ooh.
times did we say it?
Well, we said it
twice.
too in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's like a 5-minute reset. We have to wait.
It
now,
doesn't
at least 5
matter
minutes.
like how it's spelled. I think I'm
Rob,
saying
you
it.
sound-
Can't read it.
Rob,
Real life doesn't
what
have
did you-
subtitles.
Zach, buddy. Rob, what did you do for Halloween? And then Rob, go ahead and actually after you say it, go ahead and pass it off on to the next person too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yep.
right. Ooh, okay. Yeah, so I was at a funeral yesterday.
Oh, shit.
Very spooky. And then I drove 12 hours in the car. And I have this like 20-hour recording of a white paper on Beowulf computer clusters. So I listened to that on the car ride home.
It's white paper, you know what I'm saying? Why does it
So
have
yeah,
to be
that's
white paper?
fucking what I did. Well, the text is black, and that's kind of the important
Black paper
part
make
of
the
it.
text white.
I'm saying the white paper would be nothing without the black text.
Could you explain that to me? What do you mean you listen to a white, like you listen to an audiobook of Beowulf?
So it's a 20-hour recording of a woman reading off like a white paper that a computer scientist wrote about Beowulf computer clusters.
Well, when you say a white paper, is that something different than we're all thinking of just normal paper?
Well, I mean, it's just like a
Well, hold up. Zach, he didn't say flesh-colored paper, so actually he's okay, right?
Well, yikes, but also what I'm saying is like, every piece of paper you have in your house right now probably is white.
yeah.
I'm looking at yellow
Okay,
paper
but
right
like
now, Zach.
I didn't.
Doubt it.
Do you need me to like
All right,
get
you are
the
right, I was
definition?
blind.
How do
of
you?
it?
But also, how do you? It's blank paper prior to.
A
How
government
do you, the
or
listener,
other
know?
a government or other authoritative report giving information or proposals on an issue. That
It's
is what a
called
white paper.
Okay,
That is
now-
what a white
that's
paper
what I'm looking
is.
for.
Very-
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool. This has been really
That
fun.
makes sense.
Very briefly, what is a Beowulf cluster?
Okay, so Beowulf clusters are cool, actually. So what you do is
I'll be the judge of that.
well, all right, it's fair. A Beowulf cluster is like when you have like 5 old computers and you have like a 6th kind of okay one, and really you could do it with any number of computers, right? But you link them all together like through Ethernet connection, so you create a local network of all 6 of these computers. You wipe the operating systems off of them and put Linux on them or something really basic, and you turn them into like computer nodes. So basically they're just storage and CPU function. And then with the master node computer, you hook that into the network and you give that administrative control over everything. And so if you run it right, depending on what you're trying to do, you can delegate tasks from the main computer to the other terminal or the other nodes in the system. So it's basically the idea is to turn, the way I stumbled on it was turning a bunch of these old computers I have into a RuneScape bot farm. And then that led me into a bunch of YouTube research in the car, which kind of led me to a white paper, which really showed me how difficult it would be to do what I wanted to do. But yeah, that's what that fucking is.
So
Holy smokes, Brennan, are you excited or I mean not excited, are you happy you asked that question?
I mean, actually, I kind of am, because part of me was also like,
No, I joke.
the stuff that Rob I was like, who recommended this to him? It was one of those things where I was like, what? I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff, so I was kind of like, where is Rob getting the information about white papers that I have missed the bridge on here? And so I'm glad he like found this specific thing through like alternative things, because it honestly makes me feel a little bit less dumb. But by and large, I mean, I'm interested. I found that interesting. Thank you. Zach, what did you do for Halloween this year?
I was wondering if what Rob was doing was similar to the Condor cluster. Are you familiar with it was in 2010. The Air Force basically had a shit ton of PS3s that they 1760 PS3s that they basically strung together to make like a supercomputer or something.
I just looked it up. Okay, I had not.
Yeah.
So wait, what was the point of the Condor cluster? I'm confused.
They were trying to make a supercomputer. It was the 33rd largest supercomputer in the world and would be used to analyze high definition satellite imagery.
Oh, okay. Probably because of because they have like good graphics. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking
1760 PS3 GPUs to strung together. That's insane. I actually did nothing on Halloween. I went to work. Right as I got to work, my car had reached 66.6 miles on my odometer on my like trip meter.
I saw this Snapchat and it was fucking hilarious.
I then went into work all day and then nothing.
I just say it was funny because you point to your odometer and it hits 666 and then it's just you screaming at it like perfect comedic timing. Just the snap like ends mid scream. It's so funny. You guys will see that pretty soon. That'll be everywhere.
That's gonna good point. Then I went home and drank, and another Snapchat I put out that night, I howled at the moon, the full moon on Halloween while playing.
Which was also very funny.
Oh man, I was having a good day, having a blast. I walked into work and I saw one of the servers was wearing like a whole costume, and I was like, oh shit, that's right, today's holiday. So I mean, with COVID and everything going on, the spirit just wasn't there for me entirely. But I had a great time. I just wasn't like going in like, oh hell yeah, this is gonna be my costume. Like I'm not that I've ever really been big.
You had to wear a chef's jacket, right?
I actually wore sweatpants and a hoodie that day.
Oh, see?
Yeah, I don't
have. You're a chef who is he was doing Halloween as just an average Joe.
As myself, as a
dude.
person.
Well, it feels. I wanted to say because on the way home yesterday, I ate at a Hardee's on the like Indiana Turnpike, the like literally the one road that goes east to west all the way through Indiana, and all of the like at every like rest stop, workers were like dressed for Halloween, right? But this one Hardee's, it was like one lady dressed for Halloween, and then the rest of the staff were just like in street clothes. And I was like, well, this isn't just I don't think I guess it's for me, I'm like, it's a pandemic. Like, I don't know.
Anything other than their uniform, that's weird. Like that just doesn't like, especially in the chain, like
yeah, I mean, damn, those minimum wage workers aren't really giving a shit about this weird holiday for you, huh? That really is kind of rough, isn't it?
Hey man, what fucking?
That's really rough that they didn't dress up for you.
That
their costume can't just be something you give a shit about.
So like, I know minimum wage workers like have it rough. I've literally had zero income for the last 6 months.
Wouldn't that suck if somebody came into your house and criticized the way you dressed?
Yeah, that would suck. That would suck. But also, like, wouldn't it suck if you went to any food place and like people were in like dirty clothes during a pandemic? Like, I understand, but like
they have those uniforms for a reason. They want to. You're supposed to look uniform. Like that word means multiple things.
For me, it's I don't want to see it. It's like I know you're not going out getting fucked in your McDonald's clothes. I know you're not jerking off in your McDonald's clothes.
Like, oh no, that one's definitely not true. They definitely jerk off in the.
I don't think so.
I'd be like, screw this corporation. I'm jerking off on these pants.
I'm jerking off in these pants.
It's insane to me that you would be like, so like, I hate this corporation I work for. Then I'm gonna go into work with cum stains all over my pants.
I hate this corporation so much it
I'm not
makes me
saying I'm
cum.
going in with cum stains. I'm not saying that. I'm just
I
saying
think
I'm
that's a
cum.
really bold move.
That's
That's a
crazy.
statement.
So then listen, if you're not going in with the cum stains, who are you coming on it
Just
for, babe?
wear a costume. That's my point. Like,
Then who are you-
it's
then
a
who are you
day where
nutting on it
don't
for?
have to wear your work clothes. Just go and like wear a costume. I don't know.
Go in as a minimum wage employee at a fucking Hardee's for a costume. That's what I would do.
I'm sorry. Did I not express that like the one person working in the kitchen was just in a puke-covered Packers jersey?
No.
I
didn't say that.
Put that
Okay,
forward.
maybe
but
I
also,
should've led with
how
that.
do you
Maybe I
know
should've
he
led with
wasn't cosplaying as a drunk Packers fan? I just it's really like you're drawing the line here in an arbitrary way.
Dude.
No, I'm with him. This is weird.
But people dress up like babies, but with diapers on for Halloween, but they don't like shit in the diapers, so that it's
Now
The
you're gonna call me I
authenticity-
can't shit
Halloween
in diapers when I
costumes
dress
don't
up in
have
the
like a
diaper.
tactile thing to them. Like you're not
Can you-
supposed to like.
Hey, can you not? I know I talked to you before the record. Could you not spoil what my Halloween was when you're talking about shitting in diapers, please?
All right,
Like we'll get there.
I know you're trying to be sneaky and fucking segue into that shit, Rob, but come on.
I can't wait for it. I'm excited now.
Segue into that shit like Paul Blart in a diarrhea factory. Come on now, baby.
Oh, hey, I already used the Paul Blart segue.
Diarrhea factory.
Yeah.
I think when I thought of it, I was a laxative factory. That's the thing that creates shit. But no,
Yeah, but look what you said.
yeah. Well, look what I said.
You had diarrhea of the mouth.
I was for Halloween this year. I was cat sitting up at my mom's house, and
It's a crazy costume. I can't even think of how that looks.
I was sitting on a cat. Anyway, what it was me sitting inside. And at the beginning of the day, I watched the first Friday the 13th.
Oh, I just watched that recently. Yeah, cool.
And that's a good time. Honestly, it's a really solid movie. Kevin Bacon is so like beautiful and young.
Shit.
I mean,
hey, one of the original Buttery Males, Kevin Bacon.
Rob, no, let's move past it. Let's move past it.
It's a goofball in that first Friday the 13th that like for some reason you remember when that cop comes around and like everyone has just such respect for the cop's authority, like they can't even like make like a slight like little goofy even expression. They're not even making jokes, they're just acting a little silly and they're like oh shit, like
yeah. That first movie is very comical, especially as far as like what is like charming interactions between like a boyfriend and girlfriend. Like at one point, like one of the guys, I think the goofball you're talking about, shoots an arrow right at a target and gets like a bullseye right next to his girlfriend who was like tending to the target. And then he says some like corny, like he's trying to pretend he's like, come on, dolphins, or something like that. And she's like, you're the worst, and like walks away to fuck him. And it's like, wait a minute, hold up now. Like that would be fuck in real life. I would definitely, if I'm that girl, I'm like, I don't know that your aim's that good. You could have killed me, and I'm still gonna fuck you because this is real life, baby. But yeah,
and let's just say, Jason's mom caught first blood against that guy. He's the first to die, I believe, and R.I.P. the goofball.
No, she.
Don't correct me. No.
Yeah.
Wait, what happens? Who's the first to die?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about of those people, I believe the hitchhiker is the first one to die. But also prior to that, 2 people die in the very first scene of the movie, a year after Jason drowns.
Spank my bottom red and call me an idiot.
No, thank you. I'll just say you are wrong, friend, and I'll let you live with it for the rest of your days. And as a follow-up to that, I watched Friday the 13th Part 2, and Brennan took a little nap. I also really like Friday the 13th Part 2. I don't think that's a terribly controversial thing, especially just because Jason, it's the one where Jason becomes the killer. You get Jason.
You get sack face Jason. You don't get hockey mask, but you get sack head.
There's that one great shot where like she's looking at the boy in the doorway, and then you see Jason just come out of the darkness, running at the woods from behind, and it's like, it's one of those things where you look at one of these older horror movies, and you're like, that's still very scary. All things considered, that's still very scary. And so I was planning on like making a whole horror day of it, but I was just very tired. And I'll be damned if I didn't take a nap somewhere in the middle of that movie, but I woke up in the last 20 minutes, which really is where the magic starts happening. And then I kind of just fucked around for the rest of the day, and I had a couple drinks, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Freddy versus Jason. And guys, it's fun, but I'll be damned if I didn't get too spooked by it and had to turn it off. Yeah.
Okay, the beginning, like at least 30 minutes,
it's
is
a lot.
Spooky as fuck.
So there's there's like 2-3 things that did it for me. There's 2 shots before you ever see Freddy that are just Freddy's narration. The first shot is just his eyes, and his eyes are so crazy bloodshot, and it's like, oh, I don't remember Freddy looking like this. This is really scary. And then there's another shot that is just his teeth, and his teeth are like fangs, like I've never seen them be before. And then the third thing for me was like the first dream sequence that is outside of Jason having a dream is the one girl, and she sees the child who has like her eyes cut out, that is in her own way a crazy Ralph Prophet of Doom that is saying things. And I was just like, I'm way too high and drunk for this right now. I need to like relax.
You're all dead.
It was too much. It was way too much for me.
Brian, you said you had some drinks. What were you drinking on? Some beers?
I had some wine. I've been having a little bit of wine. I was up at my mom's house, so I finished off a little bit of the wine that I had before, and then I dipped into mommy's old wine reserve, and I pulled out a random bottle of Chard, a Nay. Yeah, just to emphasize.
For sure. Hell yeah.
You didn't know what you meant until you said the ending part.
Nay. Yeah, and yeah, I had that, and I watched, Freddy vs. Jason, had to turn it off around the point I saw a child with their eyes, like, not there. A little bit too, like, knowing that Freddy vs. Jason is a very fun movie once it gets underway, but still getting caught up and not being able to watch past a part in it that I'd seen when I was a child. Which I did make it further than I was as a child, because when I stopped as a child, I stopped when Jason is just murking the kids in the house and folds up the bed. That's around the time where I was like, I'm good here.
Fucked me up when I was young as well. Like, he just absolutely destroys that guy.
It's
shoving the
and
machete through
sucks.
his body, through the bed, and it's crashing basically through the wood floor with every strike. And there's like this like blood with like chunky guts, like also spraying the floor, and then just like he's not done there. He has to fold the man like backwards, like in half.
And here's what I would say, and just having watched the first movie, where Kevin Bacon gets it with an arrow coming up from underneath the bed he's on, this felt like a nice little literal inversion where it's Jason stabbing down through the bed, still impaling through the bed, but still like absolutely fucking murking this guy from the other side. So I stopped doing that, and then I watched Aliens, and then I think I fell asleep watching The Abyss, and woke up around the time Michael Bean gets imploded. And, by that point, it wasn't Halloween anymore. It was around 2 a.m. And
you said, I'm done with horror movies now.
I said, I've been spooked, and now it's time for me to give gifts to the troops, because it's holiday season. It's the holidays.
Take?
Yep, and that's something we can all relate to.
And that was the end of my Halloween.
A Halloween worth noting.
And editing.
Yeah, yep. So I felt like a long time ago with the whole like supercomputer shit we were talking about, Rob might have been trying to be sneaky about segueing into RuneScape, but I don't fucking know anymore.
Well, no, I heard it, and I was like, damn, if he had that segue intact, I wish he had told me before, because then I would have thrown it to him. It was a whole thing there.
Well, I mean, nothing we can do now. It's dead in the fucking dirt, I suppose. So
Guess
what?
what, guys? We're talking about RuneScape.
Are we? All right.
Yeah, go
ahead.
Rob. Go. Do it. Do it.
Yeah. Hey guys, this is Rob. You know, we're just out here talking about some, you know. Oh,
what just happened?
I think Brennan
Guys.
dropped.
Oh,
He's
that's
gone.
spooky.
Oh my god.
So, RuneScape. This is a game that, I mean, super popular. I don't know anything about, Rob. Please throw it my way, some info, because I don't know shit. I just know a lot of people are into it.
All right, well, yeah, it's wait, so you've never played it, Jake? You never played it growing up?
RuneScape.
Okay.
And yeah, you know what? Yeah, I've never played it. I believe my older cousin was into it, and I just never approached it myself. But I've heard plenty of people mention that they love RuneScape, and I just know nothing. Tell me.
Jesus. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry to all the listeners that like my topic is being brought up first.
Tell
I'm
me.
not really, you know, in the best place to lead the group on a discussion. But yeah, I mean, so I think Brennan might have played it.
Yeah, my fault. By the way, everyone, this is my fault.
What? No, I think Brennan might have played it.
Oh, you know what? Brennan's fault.
I have no idea. Okay,
And it's my fault for having played the game.
Honestly, yeah, I was thinking that.
I think
I don't know
Brennan
what's
has
going
played
on.
it. I think Zach has played it as well, right?
I have a few
You-
times.
Okay. So yeah, I'm probably the one who's gotten, you know, put the most time into it. I mean, it's one of these like, you know, grind until your, you know, eyes kind of start to hurt games. You know, it's an ancient land of magic and sword and steel and a bunch of Venezuelan people playing the game to pay for food and electricity and stuff. That, you know,
So
it's
it's gone
grim.
through several updates, like since like what I view to be its heyday, like when we were in 5th and 6th grade, right?
So,
Like,
yeah,
it's not
well,
the same
yeah,
game it was before.
So now, well, it is. It's fucking. So it came out in 1999, and it was like a really.
Whoa. Okay. So that's yeah.
It came out. So it came out in 1999, which a lot of people don't realize. But when it came out in 1999, it like had 1 year on the internet, and it was not like very successful. And then they updated the graphics to the current day graphics on the one I play. It's like you know, it's the same graphics from like 2000. They updated it, and with the popularity of like the MMOs that were coming out, they took off at the time. But the game itself, that, you know, they got to like 2007 and they released RuneScape 3, which basically was they made everyone transfer their accounts to RuneScape 3. RuneScape 3 would be like, you know, get more updates. It would be a like more modern game. And eventually like RuneScape 3 would become a almost entirely HD game. And it's like full of microtransactions now. But in 2012, they brought back the one that was out, you know, old school RuneScape. You can play the original RuneScape now, and it's updated like weekly too, is the other thing. So it has a pretty
Is this much in the way that they've released like WoW Classic now? Kind of thing.
So WoW Classic, yeah, WoW Classic is almost a direct response to old school RuneScape, because old school RuneScape, I think it came out in like 2012 or 2013. And so World of Warcraft fans for a long time were like, hey, like, you know, fucking if RuneScape, a game that requires like a 68, you know, megabyte download to play in its entirety can give us an old school version, like why can't Blizzard do it, you know?
I'm sorry. Who makes RuneScape? Let me say
RuneScape-
WoW is Blizzard. Who makes?
So RuneScape is made by a company called Jagex. They're out of
Okay.
Cambridge in Great Britain. and they are
Johnny
a
Knoxville's Jagex.
yeah, Johnny Knoxville's Jagex.
And can I just
they're
say, Britain is fine. It's like okay, like great is we're doing a lot there. Okay.
well,
We're okay,
okay. I
Britain.
mean, sure. I didn't name it. I didn't.
Britain's
If they call
fine.
me up,
Britain's
if
fine.
someone calls me up, I'll let them know, Brennan, that you think, and I think also they should probably change the name to like just Good Britain or All Right Britain.
How
But
about Britain? Britain's
Just
fine. We don't
Britain.
need to use an
Britain's
adjective.
clean.
just
Yeah,
just fine Britain
it's
across
not
the
called
pond.
Good York or Good
Um,
Angeles.
What is New
well,
York
it's
and Los
definitely not
Angeles?
Good Angeles anymore, whether they've called it that or not in the past.
Okay, and this is where
Uh,
Rob talks about coastal elites and how they should all break off into the ocean because they all worship Satan.
No, they're literally just. It's
he's,
like
he's probably right. I'm with him.
Yeah,
If
I
he
was
were to
watching
break
it.
down,
That was a
yeah.
good one.
No, dude, California is a special kind of fucked up because it's like, wow, in 100 years, you really climate changed the shit out of this place, huh? Like you guys really did it. But back to RuneScape. The most important thing on the docket tonight.
What was your
Um,
initial experience with it? Was it around the age range that I'm talking about, like fourth or fifth, sixth
yeah,
grade, kind of in
so
there?
well, no, so
Because you were big into WoW as well.
yeah, so I first played RuneScape in first grade.
wow.
Yeah, and I like played it a little bit and I kind of didn't understand the concept of like a game that you have to put like 40 hours into one skill to get like halfway through the skill.
And they expect you
Um,
to do that in a day. It's like, come on, I gotta, I got stuff to do.
well, especially as a kid where, you
Excuse me. It's like you're putting your hand on the CEO's chest and you're saying, "Sir, I've got boogers to pick."
well, I mean, RuneScape's like, you got a lot of time to do that. Pick boogers. I mean, I guess the thing about it is like so the game itself is like, it's quests and skills. There's like 26 skills. 10 of the skills level up your combat level. Like all the combat skills level up your overall combat level. And the rest of the skills are for like crafting and stuff, like mining, wood cutting. There's a literal crafting skill. There's a slayer skill that as you level it up, you can like go fight. You get like tasks to go fight monsters. So there's like a lot going on to the game, but the one thing about it is that like every skill goes up to level 99, right? And so
Yeah, what's
to
with
get
that? Why not 100? You know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, I think it might have I think the choice at the time was that the like original RuneScape, because they've never changed that. Like since the very beginning, it's always been like skills go up to 99 since like version 0.1, I think the reason they didn't go to 100 is probably because they were like, it's gonna cost us extra like, processing power or like client space to make it 100 in each skill, because it, literally just adding that extra decimal everywhere. It's like that might sound stupid today in like modern games, but in 1999, a very rudimentary game that once again was designed with the intention to be played on any fucking device you could put it on. Those like Raspberry Pi mini computers? It's like the
Hell
tiniest
yeah.
computer you get. People, you can put
Those are
RuneScape
sick.
on that, and you can play
Playing
RuneScape
this
on
game
that.
on their fucking beepers.
Well, you probably fucking the one thing like some people say is that because it's like it's Java, it wouldn't translate.
We're
But
not
if it was
talking
like
about
Linux
coffee when you say
code,
Java.
yeah, if it was coffee. No, if it was like because
I'm sorry.
OSRS is Java. It's like a Java program. So it's like if it was a different programming style, you could play this game on any smart device in the world. Any smart fridge, smart fucking toaster, anything with like anything with a screen and an operating system, you can like play this game on. So,
Imagine that
but yeah,
asshole who shows up to a LAN party with his fucking smart toaster.
I mean, I think for the first couple
I'd
minutes,
be
people might
fucking
be
hyped.
interested,
I
but
would definitely be like, yo, wait, what?
yeah, and then you'd be
It's
like,
still
oh,
good.
dude, you can't actually play with us because we're trying to get shit done.
Can we also
Um,
make
You
toast
keep
while we
fucking making
play?
toast.
Yeah,
And he's
I
like, no,
mean,
I can beat the game. Just get me like 18,000 loaves of bread, and I can fucking do this.
I need to make a
Beowulf
Beowulf smart toaster cluster and
Oh my
link it all
God, yes.
together. But yes, it's skills and money. Money is the other most important thing in the game because, you know, to get to 1 to 10 in a skill could take you 5 minutes depending on the skill. But most skills to get to 99 take like hundreds of hours. The more gold you have, the more money you can lose leveling up these skills. So it's like fire making takes 32 days of consistent fire making XP to get to 99 if you're using oak logs, which are like a relatively affordable in-game item. But
So is this I'm sorry, not saying, is this like a way of saying like mo money, mo problems in a way?
kind of, yeah, because like
Nice.
you know, with that, it's like you could spend 32. And when I say 32 days, I don't mean like you log in a couple hours a day. I mean literally like 30 to 24-hour days to
I thought that's what you meant, and
which is it's a lot. And so it's like if you don't want to do that, you have to find a way to get like 200 mil GP to buy magic logs, like the highest level log in the game that you get the most XP from. And then you can do that skill in like 18 hours. It's just, you know, it's 200 mil, which is about $100 US. And so that's the thing where it's like RuneScape is a game that forever since like the beginning, they have had a real world gold problem. Because like it's so easy to go into that game and start a level 3 character and make like a couple mil in a day. If I could run a bot farm 2 days a week with 200 accounts making 5 mils a day for 2 days, it's like boom, then all of a sudden I can sell that every month for like 3 grand, you know, depending on how much I can put together. And then it's like you get deeper and you find out that there are people our age who make like 11 to 12 grand a month doing it.
Wow.
You know, it's one of the things I like about the game, other than nostalgia, and I think like actually if you're looking to kill some time, you know, you got nothing to do for a couple hours, you put on like a TV show and you just like kind of like mindlessly click away a little bit. Like I like that a lot, but the game itself reminds me of, for me, when the internet was cool was back when it was like a little dangerous and there was like way less like, you know, Facebook and Instagram disabling like hashtags so that there can't be fake news spread before the election. It's like RuneScape reminds me, because literally I was playing the other night and I was in this player-owned house where like it was like a house party world where like hundreds of people go into these, you know, player-owned houses, and there were like people talking about the election, and it's just like people actively, you could see like people trying to black pill and like red pill like other RuneScape players. It's wild. Like it's a lot of fun. You know, because real world money is involved, it's like people take it more seriously than they should. People stake like 400 mil in the fight arena. That's like $300. Yeah, there's like real world gambling sites. It's wild, dude. It's a fucking crazy game.
Dang, man. So, are you actually doing this like whole bot farm thing, or are you just all talking?
I
Legally,
are
you allowed to like say whether you are legally, or consult
know.
Zach about this before you
No,
release the episode.
It's usually best to deny right off the bat.
No, I know.
And also, I'm a lawyer. That's canon. That's
the one
officially
thing
canon.
No.
The one
didn't
thing
know
I
that.
will say, I just have this one friend who is like always bugging me every time I start playing RuneScape again to like try to make real world money at it. And he like, I finally like was like, I'll humor you. He was like asking me how you would do it, and I was like, okay, well, this is how you do it. Like, here's the math, here's the problem, like here's what you would have to do. And I was like, I don't have a massive computer to do this, so I can't do it. And I was like, huh. Well, how do I was like, I have all these other computers. How do I put this together? So the one thing I will say is like I've actually kind of moved beyond the RuneScape thing where I'm like, I'm like starting to like try to learn Linux code, and in building this like Linux network, this Beowulf cluster I'm trying to do. It's like if I get good at enough at this, I've been looking into like machine learning jobs in
I was
the
about
United
to say,
States.
just
And
stop doing what you're doing for video games and do it so you can like
well,
legitimately make money.
that's the
As a
thing, because it's
real
like
job, yeah, that'd be sick.
machine learning jobs are like really high paying, and it's like it's a job in like the futures department where like I think it's like 45% of the people in that job don't have college degrees. It's like primarily like people who just like really like go hard and read too many white papers about shit, and then they like all of a sudden they're working on like massive artificial intelligence builds, or like virtualization rendering on like massive scales. And I as a person who's like not totally sure what they want to do, I was like, this stuff is actually super cool. I was like, this could be really interesting to do for a lifetime. There was
Well,
a
if you like
fucking
it so much, why don't you marry it? That's I'll
maybe I
just
fucking
put that
will.
there.
Maybe I fucking will. Fucking love that guy. So deep thought, if you're out there.
Shout out.
Yeah,
If
this
we're
was
shouting
about
out
you.
clusters, I want to shout out the Virgo supercluster. That's where
There you
we
go.
all reside. We all reside in it. So,
And everything that, yeah.
so hashtag Virgo supercluster.
Yeah,
Hashtag Virgo.
it's appreciation week for the VSC.
Yep. Oh, cool. I mean, good luck in your endeavors, honestly, because it really comes down to making that paper, during these stressful times.
Oh yeah.
I had to switch my job for this shit.
Hey, I hope your
It'll
job
be
interview
fun,
tomorrow doesn't go anything like the movie The Interview with James Franco and Seth Rogen. And while
I
we're
hope you don't
talking
do
about
that.
What do you
And
mean?
while we're
Huge success? You don't want
talk-
me to be successful?
Hey,
Yeah,
what
You
do
don't
you
want me
mean,
to
Brennan? What do
you want me to do a
and while we're-
massive global
and
success?
while we're talking about movies,
my wife.
and my wife is not a fan of this movie subject we're talking about. Anyway, I hate you all. Let's move on to our next topic here, which is something I have like maybe inappropriately named "Build Your Own Trilogy / Quadrilogy" in the group chat. Let's just call it "Build Your Own Franchise" for
I thought you were leading into Borat too.
Was it on the topic list tonight, Zach? No.
Brennan,
It was.
explain this to us. Because,
Wasn't it?
I mean, don't explain it to us. Explain it to the listeners if you could. So
Yeah, we all know what it
Yeah,
means.
because
obviously.
it's not like I
But-
definitely gave everyone in this record multiple opportunities for me to explain it to them. The idea of this is that we're going to build our own franchise like from the bottom up. So it will be one movie in ascending order from a different franchise. So, for instance,
Very
you
cool.
could. So I almost am very cautious here to give examples of what it could be because I don't want to step on anyone's toes. But
Just
for
do yours
instance,
first as an example.
no. For instance, you could do like Batman
Yeah.
Begins, Dumb and Dumber 2, and then Rocky 3. Like so,
Really?
like that's
Really,
your
bro?
franchise.
Oh my-
1, 2, 3 from different
I just had to
franchises.
pick my fucking
Yeah,
exact movies.
Yeah, and you know what? If you were gonna be so snarky, you shouldn't have sent me your list first. Is all I have to say to that.
All
So I mean, I suppose I will go first because it's
Please.
my own little subject here.
And
We-
I should go last, just for the record.
Yeah. We. mhm.
Wink, wink.
So I have to just start it off right here. I got to go with my number one in the franchise. It's going to be Fellowship of the Ring.
Okay.
I love me some Fellowship. I don't know what else to say. It's a great movie here.
It's a good, I would say, entry into like any trilogy. Funny enough, like it might be the perfect opening
Works
film.
for any trilogy.
Yeah, exactly. Like lead it into like any second, lead it into Terminator 2 and it's great.
And I would say it's one of those things where almost the ending of it too, like that last little, it's a whole great movie to set up a whole thing. It gets you with the vibe of like, the gang's all here, I'm gonna watch some fucking movies or whatever. And just the ending of it right there for me is like the way I like to watch movies or a group of movies or an event kind of thing is with a friend. And I can't think of any better way to signify the start of a journey than a movie that ends with a friend, checks notes, willing to drown himself so that he could go like risk his life for his other friend. And so yeah, that's why Fellowship comes in at my number 1. I had to debate about number 2. And this is once again not necessarily what I think to be the best movies of all time, just my own trilogy. My number 2 just literally comes down to the 2 Cameron sequels that are, some of the all-time greatest, but I just think I have to say Aliens is my second film. Just because I fucking love it, specifically the director's cut. It's got heart, and it's like part of my favorite franchise ever. And your boy loves Sigourney. With 3, I'm gonna have to say, Die Hard with a Vengeance. You just gotta love it. It's a good movie. You got just some classic Die Hard formula. You got Jeremy
Great Sam
Irons
Jackson.
there, and his name is Zeus.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, that's right. You get
His
an awesome Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson, and you get a riddle in the movie with them in the park with the gallons of water that allowed me to seem smart in a finite math class in like my senior year of high school, not because I knew the math to the riddle, but because I'd seen the movie. And so that's my number 3. And then just for 4, boys, I'd be remiss here if I didn't say Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
There we go.
Or I thought you said trilogy.
Yeah, you said trilogy. How dare you?
I said, I believe, once again, boys, I multiple times said trilogy, quadrilogy.
You didn't say that on the record to the people, and I don't think you said that in the most recent one you just
I
did.
definitely said in the record trilogy, quadrilogy,
Hold
and then I
on.
said later on franchise, but I definitely said to the entire group
No.
trilogy,
Roll the tape
quadrilogy.
back.
If you can do it,
Go to the
Trilogy.
topics right now. It says
Guys,
build your
listen,
trilogy
hey.
or Lucifer.
hey, listen, just keep scrolling back. By the way, it's there.
No,
but
I'm
also
saying right now. You said this 7 minutes ago. You yourself
No,
said
he said build your own. But he did say build your own trilogy might be a bad name for it, and then he said build your own. It's a build your own franchise, or whatever.
I literally did just say it on the record, and also I said it in the group chat a while ago. So we can cut all of this shit out of the record. But also, if you're gonna have a problem with me doing 4, boy, you're gonna have a problem with Rob. All right.
See,
So cut
I
it.
knew
So cut
something
it all
was
out.
happening.
So fucking cut it all out.
Fucking mad already.
All right.
All right, well, you know what?
Gotta end
I'll
it
do
on.
mine next, and I'll stick with a fucking trilogy set, because
Yeah.
you know what?
God.
Not.
I'm sorry, you guys don't read. That's not our fault. Anyway, continue.
Oh yeah, you
You
know
have
what?
to
Making
look at
fun of me
movies.
because I can't read, and you know that.
No,
and you
no, no. I
always
said
bring that up.
don't. I said
Dude,
don't.
I'm
You
learning.
actively
I'm
choose
always
not to.
going to my classes, and I'm trying to figure
All
this
right.
shit out.
All
It's
right.
hard as fuck.
Listen, continue.
Well, okay. So if I'm doing one, like I said, you know what? I am just gonna do a trilogy, and it's not out of spite. That's what I wanted to do. So the first pick in my trilogy, you know what? First Matrix. Get that in there.
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Hell yeah.
saying? That was one of my favorite movies ever growing up. I remember I always used to watch horror movies and action movies with my dad growing up. And it was kind of like he would just always have them playing, and it didn't matter how old you were in the house. You just
That's how my fucking dad was,
Yeah.
and I saw way too much.
same. I saw The Exorcist like when I came home from school one day when I was like 7, and it
Dude,
fucking
I
wrecked me.
got in trouble for showing my neighbors Die Hard when I was 7. They went home saying "Yippee ki motherfucker."
I
That's awesome.
have also gotten in trouble for showing people Die Hard, the Die Hard franchise in general. I've also gotten scolded multiple times for
You're
showing
25 and you're showing 5-year-olds Die Hard. Yeah, that's a little weird.
people. I'm also like forcing them to crawl across glass to the screen to turn it off and everything. And I'm saying, get over this. He can do it.
Come on. Anyway, that I don't want to keep.
Don't you
want to
save your wife?
But so this is one of like, out of all the action movies I've seen, I remember The Matrix was a big fucking deal. With all the slow-mo shots, that classic fucking scene where he's bending backwards, dodging the bullets in slow-mo, like this movie could not have fucking, it couldn't have hit me at a better time in my life. So yeah, Matrix, that's my number one, babe. Number two, all right, as much as I want to say the first one of these movies, I will go with the second because I still like it a lot. It takes a turn in the franchise, but it's still pretty good. Doing Blade 2.
Hell yes.
Oh yeah.
GDT baby.
Yeah,
Blade 2,
Yes.
I might like Blade 2 better than Blade 1.
I do.
You start to get the
yes.
open mouth vampires, and
They're
it's
so cool.
Yeah.
a little creepy.
And Ron Perlman.
Yeah, you get Ron Perlman in there, and growing up, I don't know what it was. It's basically the same fucking aesthetic as The Matrix. They're wearing black leather and black sunglasses and shooting guns and fucking just balling out the whole time.
I think the first Blade, which I think it's been said before maybe, but yeah, you're absolutely right. I think the first Blade movie is released before the first Matrix movie. I think in a way, the Matrix is totally jacking Blade's aesthetic in that way.
Blade, I had a Blade action figure growing up. I fucking loved Blade. Coolest superhero maybe ever.
So I think because he came into the public consciousness around the same time for all of us as far as being a superhero, right there you said it. How long until you knew that was a Marvel movie? It was later on in my life that I realized this is a comic book character who might hang out with Spider-Man sometime.
Same. So it was like that. I saw the first movie when I was also very young. Same exact reason. My dad just fucking playing this shit and it doesn't matter. And I'm just so fascinated that a vampire is the good guy. And just, and he's kind of, I guess he's half vampire. They call him Daywalker, because he can walk in the sunlight because he's half human, half vampire. But wait, what the fuck am I getting on here? Why? So I figured out that he was a superhero because like I said, I had an action figure of Blade, and I had a lot of action figures growing up, and I remember that I already had an action figure. I didn't know that, I don't think it said Marvel on it or whatever on the box, but later in life I would get more Marvel action figures, and then I saw Blade in a box and it said Marvel, and I was like, no shit. He's and I'm 10 years old and I'm saying no shit to my dad.
No, hey, Pops, no
Shit,
fucking
Dad.
shit. I didn't know they owned this intellectual property. This is blowing my fucking tits off, and I'm only 5. I'm sorry, how old did you say you were?
I think 10. It doesn't matter. I was a youngin'. But so yeah, Blade 2. That's my number 2. And then you know what? For 3, this one's kind of hard for me. I've been stuck on this last one, but I'm going to say X-Men 3. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love this. You put together a bomb.
Interesting.
Trilogy.
Interesting. Can you
we
explain
get-
this to me?
What do you mean?
Why? So, all right.
Why'd I hit X-Men 3?
Yeah, that because
That was the movie that I remember. It started to it was at this point in my life where I was like, yeah, I know what superhero movies are, and then this movie kind of freaked me the fuck out actually. When because you see Phoenix kind of going nuts.
Yeah.
She's killing these protagonists you've known for a bit now, and
Cyclops right off the bat.
Cyclops gets
Yep.
murdered, and there's just honestly just for the scene at the end when it's Wolverine trying to get close to her as she's just fucking blasting him with psychic blast or whatever and
His
tearing off
skin
his
is
flesh,
shredding. Yeah.
and he's regenerating really quickly as well. I remember that scared me, but it wasn't scary enough to turn me away, but it was cool, and it was like that little bit of scare that it made it like, oh yeah, like I can handle this, you know, like I'm old enough. This is cool. Like this is what it's all about when you get older. You start to like level up as to what you can witness. And like I said, my dad showed me like a lot of like horror movies and shit, but for some reason, like just me not expecting something like that in a superhero movie was like, yo, this is really fucking cool. Like I really like this. And I love, you know, Juggernaut in that shit just running through
Yeah,
walls.
that
And,
line. He's got the line, baby.
what's the line? What does it say? What do you mean?
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I'm the Juggernaut, baby.
You can't stop me. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
I'm
I
the
think-
Juggernaut,
He runs
baby.
through all
It's
the
so
walls.
good. Could I say
Yeah.
one thing about that movie before we move on, and we can edit
Go
this out if
ahead.
we want to?
Yeah.
The reason Cyclops dies off at the beginning, I don't know if you know this, Jake. Brian Singer, pretty well-known alleged pedophile, is the director of the first two movies.
Yes.
The second one, arguably like one of the greatest superhero movies like ever made.
Yeah.
He
That's a
left.
cool one too.
He did not direct the third one because he went to go direct Superman Returns, and
Jeez.
James Marsden, who plays Cyclops, is cut out and like killed off early in the X-Men The Last Stand because he is going over to I think was an initial choice for Bryan Singer to play Superman, but then is later made, you know, when it all is said and done after he frees up the time, to be Jimmy Olsen, just a shitty like side character or
So, like,
whatever.
Stepdad or like the boyfriend of the
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
once again,
yeah, I
that's
remember
actually a movie I've not seen. But Jimmy
Yeah.
Olsen is a character that is like pretty well known
It's
within it or whatever.
pretty
Yeah.
shitty if I remember correctly.
Well, I mean,
sorry.
that's that thing there where it's like, so it's like, okay, cool. So like, you know, the pedophile is good at making movies left, and then the Cyclops left with him, and then it's like, oh, okay, so every movie is gonna suffer for this. You should have stuck with what you needed here.
But yeah, that's my trilogy. I got The Matrix, Blade 2, and X-Men X3, or is it just X-Men 3? I don't
It's
remember
X-Men
exactly.
The Last Stand. I don't even think there's a
Last
3 in
Stand.
it. I think it's just
Okay.
X-Men: The Last Stand. Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, that's it for me. Yeah. I'm out of here. See ya.
Yeah, bye, Jake. No, I'm joking. Rob, oh no, I'm sorry. Zach, what is your franchise? Zach, Zach, are we there, Zach?
Zachy Poo, Zach Boy.
I'm sorry,
Zach-
I'm muted. I'm sorry. I am here.
No, it's all
Franchise,
good.
right?
Yeah, build your own franchise. If you want to do just
Fantastic.
3 or 4, okay.
And
Good,
this is
but
a
you get it.
franchise,
No.
that Travis Scott song that just came out recently
No,
for
Yeah,
Tenet,
perfect.
Tenet.
okay?
No, not the Tenet song.
No,
No,
it's not that. It's not the song that improved the movie Tenet.
the song that Chris Nolan was like, I might have made a shit movie during a pandemic. I need a Travis Scott song. This really brings the movie
It
together.
worked for McDonald's.
All
Got
right,
that
all
lettuce
right.
right. Anyway,
Zach, what is your franchise that you're building here?
All right. So starting it off, I'm gonna go. I had a question that I didn't ask, and I kind of just assumed it'd be fine. My first movie wasn't a part of a trilogy. It was only one movie and a sequel. Is that okay? It's still the first
That's part of a
those
franchise.
two.
Yeah, no, I think that's
Okay.
perfectly fine, honestly.
All right. So I went with National Treasure, the original National Treasure. I thought that movie fucking kicked ass when it came out.
Yeah,
I had it
there
on
you go.
DVD, and
Zach,
I was like, it was fun.
every time I talk to you and record an episode with you, I feel like I'm opening up a book of secrets, and I'm so excited to jump into the rest of your franchise here.
It was hard for me not to go for that as my second, but yeah, real quick, because my franchise is definitely 3 and no more than that. Number 2, Toy Story 2, another great childhood memory movie.
Oh, dude, like,
Just whew.
and also like one of the great sequels of all time, truly.
Oh, of course, yeah, it was amazing. It was such an amazing movie. Toy Story 2, the PlayStation 1 game.
There's a snake in your boot?
Get out of here, partner.
I had to get it
Jake,
out. Jeez,
Get
sorry.
out of
No,
there,
no,
'cause
sorry
you know
to
you got a
interrupt.
friend in me, right?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, true. That's beautiful.
I like you.
Zach, Toy Story 2, who's your favorite original to that movie character?
Oh, Pistol Pete, or is that his name? The fucking
Prospector?
Yosemite- Yeah, Prospecting Pete Prospector.
Good
I forget his name. It's
old
probably Prospector.
Piston Pete.
Do you guys know there's a
Dude.
weird scene that was cut out of the credits of that movie where it's like the prospector, like it's cut out of like newer releases, but it's like the prospector talking to some like Barbie dolls in like a Harvey Weinstein-esque way where he's saying,
yes.
I'm not joking. This is like you can find
that
this
was
on
like
YouTube.
The credits.
Yeah,
That
it's in the
used to be in the
credits of the
credits.
movie.
That used to
it's
be
not
in the
anymore.
credits.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
anymore.
no,
but
I
it's
swear
like
that used to be in an old VHS that we had, or whatever.
it's very weird. Yeah,
It
no,
was
I think
weird
remember
that
that
it was weird
scene.
that Harvey Weinstein voiced Piss Spector Pete in that movie.
a ghost made of urine. Piss Spector Pete. Now, I personally myself was always partial to Bullseye. I thought he was nothing but value added to the
true,
franchise. But yeah, I love Toy Story 2. Anybody
I like
else
the
have
Spider
anything to say about
Baby.
that?
I had the PlayStation 1 game for Toy Story 2, and it was such a great 3D platformer at the time. Like even now,
are you talking about the one where you can play in like Andy's room and like all the there's
the starting levels Andy's room? Yeah,
Yep.
you could find the Mr. Potato Head pieces, so you could get like more abilities. And
I think that was
lot
definitely
of-
one of those games that was too hard for me when I was that age.
there were a lot of those
was
games
so
back
fun.
then where it was like they were able to somehow build larger 3D spaces than any other like AAA games were, and like just nobody gave a shit.
It's because these were games that were made for something else and that are later repurposed for that.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah,
property.
I think about like the old Army Men games. Like the old Army Men games used to be fucking massive.
Oh my gosh,
Those were
you
sweet.
are
Those
just
were
like
so
unlocking
fun.
memories, and oh man, I'm remembering some stuff.
You're listening to the
probably
Unlocking
Jake,
Memories
suppress it.
podcast.
Suppress it.
I hope we don't unlock the wrong ones.
used to play the shit out of those exact games though, Rob. PlayStation 1 and on, but
yeah, I had Army Men 1 or like just Army Men on computer, and then when I got my PlayStation 2, I was like, there's a second one, and the second one is where they like do like actual voice acting and like animation with cutscenes. It's like fucking awesome.
Well, I think the part of that too is like, aren't those games a little like, I think the association by people like us, our age, is like, oh, it's the Army Men from Toy Story. That's not the case though, is it?
It's
still the Green Army Men,
the green,
but it's like
the Green Army
the
Men.
toys, yeah. Which I
And
you're
definitely
like-
had. Yeah, I definitely had those real toys too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, I mean, who didn't? Who
Oh, well,
was like
dude,
melting those with Bic lighters?
Well, that, and how about when because everyone had like the tan and green ones, but how about when you found a set of like red Army Men or like blue Army Men?
Well, I
Some
knew
shit
I needed to
you
take their
find-
land from them.
Just fucking level up, you know?
That's some shit you'd
Yeah.
find at like a
Yards,
daycare center or something, and you'd end up just sneaking in your pocket and go take it home.
Oh, I
Take
mean,
like
one
four,
of
you
each,
take like
sure.
one of
Thank you,
each
Jake.
separate one, so you have like a little like rogue squad of them. You're like, I'm not too greedy, like.
This is the alpha team. There's 4 of
Yeah.
them.
Hey guys, where did the tie-dye sports car go? Nowhere.
Dude, well, Zach, I'll let you swing back into your thing in 1 second. I just want to say, I went through a little bit of a pyro phase, and in one of those Army Men games, when you get to the end of the game, it becomes like a zombie game, where like the big reveal is that the tan general.
Call of Duty World at War.
No. It's like this is from like 1998. You know, this is like an old fucking, so yeah, the tan general was creating, like putting zombies out into the world. So it becomes a zombie game. So what I ended up doing is I would like melt down and cut apart these Army Men and put different color ones together to make the zombies from
like
the game.
Melt them together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
hell yes.
Little creative fucking kid.
Yeah, and I listen, one time I almost lit a couch on fire in my basement, but you know, it's cool.
His mom came
So
down and
much.
she was like, "Why are you doing this?" And he's like,
No,
"I can hear them
that's-
scream."
Dude, you have no idea how right you are, because literally I in my basement we had tile floors, so I put down a piece of plywood we had, and so I would melt them on the plywood, and my mom came down one day while I had one like on fire, and I slid it under the couch. Not realizing, you know, fucking
Jesus.
open flame. So luckily, my mom like went back upstairs and like I was able to pull the thing out, and it's like I looked under the couch, there was a burn mark, and like luckily nothing happened. But it's like if my mom didn't leave at that time, like it would have been her fault that the couch would have gone up in flames. Okay, that's my point.
Zach, what is your third one, by the way, before we forget that you're doing this?
Oh, right. Yeah, all right. So, let me see. Let me go to my notes. Number 3, Austin Powers Goldmember. A fucking instant
Yes, Zach.
Okay.
Yes.
an instant classic comedy. I loved it. It came out when I was like 7 or 8. I watched it then, and it was the wrong time for someone my age to watch it, but it was
dude.
hilarious.
We all saw it
It
pretty
was-
young, I bet.
Yeah,
though.
I
Yeah.
saw that in theaters for sure.
Me too. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember these movie theaters that would like play movies that were out of theaters, like regular theaters.
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm talking about? You'd go
Yeah.
to like these theaters that were playing
Matinee.
movies that just got cut out of the
Are you,
normal
ta-
theaters.
are you talking about like the Emmaus Theater?
Yeah, yeah.
well,
like you
to-
can watch a theater that's been out of theaters for
Yeah.
like 2 months for
Yes,
cheaper.
exactly, for
Yeah.
cheaper. So
Yeah,
I
they're
had
like-
not seen Goldmember, and there was one in a town near us called Quakertown, and my dad took me to go see Goldmember with him, and I remember, you know, just it being a fucking hoot, like, and
Hell
not
yeah.
really knowing enough because I'm so young, but I remember, you know, at the end when Fat Bastard loses all of his weight, and he's like saying, he's like, my neck looks like a vagina, or whatever, and everyone in the theater just roaring, and me looking at my dad just fucking dying, and I was like, Daddy, what the vagina? And he's just
How
like,
old were you?
Dada, what for my vagina? Yeah, I was 13 at this point. No,
Huh.
no, I don't know my age, but I was pretty young, probably like 9 or 10, and well, someone just dropped out, but
I think it's 2004. Oh, Zach.
Zach, where? There.
But I just remember him being like, "That's like, you know, that's what ladies got down there." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Jesus.
I'm like a staunch, like, I stand by that's the best movie in the franchise. You know, like, it's got the most star power, it's got the most, like, credulity to it, the biggest budget, and all the jokes that, like, repeat, you know, like, as many times as they repeat throughout the franchise. It's the third movie. The rule of threes works in that way. The jokes are all the funniest that they ever are when something's floating in the sky or any of those things that they do. It's the
Yeah.
best one, in my opinion. The third movie
Yeah.
fucking rocks so hard.
So good.
Hell yeah. I also did read what you said, Brennan. I was just giving you some guff. It's trilogy, quadrilogy, the franchise. So I'm just gonna run through all the ones moving past 3. I'll go through them pretty quick. My number 4, Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter.
Cool. Stop
It
there.
was
No.
Junkies.
Please talk about Goblet of Fire. I do like Goblet of Fire.
I mean, I'm not
Zach,
gonna say
how many
much
do you
about these.
have? How
Yeah,
many do
Zach,
you
did
have?
you just, like, in, like, a couple of minutes, come up with Rob's entire bit that he spent a whole fucking night doing?
Ah, shit. I
I
knew
have-
it was
I
gonna
have-
be.
You caught me. Yeah. I didn't know it was. Yeah, okay. So you caught me. Number 5, Fast and Furious. It was a good movie. That one, so far, all these movies I've seen, the next 3 I actually didn't see. So I'm not gonna say them.
Yeah,
I'm not
Zach,
even
rattle them off because,
Boom.
like, you know, this is gonna be a whole thing.
All right, so let's see. Number 6, Tyler Perry's Amadeus Christmas. It was a classic.
Amadeus
man.
Christmas.
Amadeus Christmas. Yeah.
Amadeus.
No. Amadeus's. It's Amadeus's Christmas. Number 7, Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot. What a hoot that movie was.
No,
Wait, how is
that's
that
only
your number
the-
7?
That movie's off. Oh.
It's
Your
the 7th
number 8 is
one
Vern
in
Goes to
the
Prison.
universe.
In the Buick universe, Zach, but no, it doesn't work
Right.
like that.
Yeah, no.
It's only
I mean,
the third
well,
Jay and Silent
Zach,
Bob.
I don't want to rules lawyer you, but I mean,
Oh shit. I'm fucking dragged.
I have something that is totally rule compliant, you know. So I mean, I'll let you like run your list through, but like, you know,
Oh,
I'm excited
no,
to-
yeah.
for
My
you.
number 8 is Land Before Time, The Big Freeze, which we can all
Okay.
agree a
That is
classic.
that's part of cinema. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
took 8 films to get there, and we were all happy they did.
number 9, I'm just now adding the 9th Star Wars movie. You guys know the title. You know
Okay.
the one.
Uh,
I did see
The
that.
Rise
That
of
one I did see.
Skywalker. The Dead Speak.
No, wait, no, I didn't see that one. Never mind. That's still my 9th, though. Yeah.
All right, Zach, do you care to pass the baton?
Rob, I'm so sorry.
No. So I love that, I love that you went for this because, all right, I'm just gonna get through it. I'm not even gonna like do any build up that I had planned, but
No,
like,
Julian, that wasn't the build-up.
no. Let's kick this off just by saying I followed in Brennan's footsteps. My first film in my saga is the first Hobbit movie. I know
Okay, gotcha.
I could have picked the first Lord of the Rings movie, but I chose to pick the better one.
okay.
Wham.
Is this the like animated one?
An Unexpected Journey?
Yeah.
Is
With,
that the subtitle for that piece of shit?
Yeah, Hobbit 1, Unexpected Journey. Which is also the best Hobbit movie. And then kicking it off second at bat, we have the second exotic Marigold Hotel.
I don't even know of that.
Just a bunch of old white British actors at a hotel in India.
Well, they couldn't get a room at the Grand Budapest.
Exactly. That's pretty much what happened. Okay, 3, we got Spy Kids 3D.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a fucking
Quality
classic.
movie.
Yeah, that's a good third movie.
4, we got Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, the best Indiana Jones movie.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, they're at the height of their powers. They're at the height of their powers.
You'll see how when I pick from sagas and trilogies and whatever, I'm picking the best ones, obvious. So number 5, we have Rocky 5. Never seen it.
Good stuff. It's good.
Right? Yeah.
Never seen it. 6,
yeah.
we got Fast 6.
Okay, yep, nice. I like that. Good choice. That was my 5.
7, we got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2 because
the Deathly Harlows?
I'm sorry.
Harlows?
Dan, I never saw the Deathly Harlows. I didn't realize they did another.
It's a whole other trilogy. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2, you have to watch both of them because they are both number 7.
Holy shit.
So you watch those two. And then you're moving on to Star Wars Episode 8, the Rian Johnson Star Wars, which is probably the best one right now. And then number 9, you're gonna move over to Son of Pink Panther.
Yes.
Which I have no idea what that Pink Panther movie is about. And once again, I want to say my entire list, I went to painstaking effort to make sure it's entirely the best ones in the franchises, but it's also entirely rule compliant. And so
I'm gonna make my case. I googled best 4th movie in a series, best 5th movie in a series.
Okay.
And that's how I came up with my list.
Yeah.
Wait,
so
Okay, never mind.
Let me, so we're at number 9. So I'm not, Number 10, you have The Man from U.N.C.L.E. The 10th Man from U.N.C.L.E. movie is just called The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
The Guy Ritchie remake with Henry Cavill.
I think that's what that one is. Which is, it's either that one or that might be one of the franchises that's super long. Either way, it is canonical. And then 11, you got Yogi Bear 2010.
That's 12, the 11th Yogi Bear movie they made?
That's the 11th Yogi Bear movie, and like I said, they're all canonical. 12, you have Muppets Most Wanted.
For sure, yeah, for sure. I knew that was coming.
And then 13, you're never gonna believe this one. My Friends Tigger and Pooh, a musical too.
So, Rob, I have a question for you. You're sticking with they have to all be canonically connected. That's what you're saying?
And
yeah,
also,
like they're all canonical.
In those franchises?
Okay, so it's not like within like reboots or anything like that. It's like
it's
the same canon.
No, Brennan. I will say I went out of my way to make sure that I only, because as you get deep into this list, you'll see kind of what we end up with, to work with. But
we're not deep in already, because
No,
I'm,
we're not
I'm
very
up
deep
to
in
my
yet.
neck right now. It feels
God.
like
I was very careful to make sure that I only picked movies that you could make strong
All right, keep
arguments
going.
that they
Yeah,
are
let's-
all linear and
I'm
all.
drowning
you-
already. Let's keep going.
So
You also
and then,
really think these are the best versions of these franchises? You think
absolutely the best
think
representation, 100%.
Honey
And I'll give you
Boo-
another example here. My number 14.
Yeah.
My number 14 proves
Thank
it.
you.
Land Before Time, Journey of the
Yeah.
Brave.
Yeah, the 14th was the best. You're right.
The
You're right.
14th was the best.
So
uh-huh.
crazy.
When you're
Didn't
right, you're
know there
right.
was a 14th. Grew up with those movies. Go on.
And then 15, you're going to be moving on to some more British movies with Bulldog Drummond's Secret Police.
Of course. Yeah. Secret Police. Yeah.
Keeping it in the UK, then you're going to move on to The Falcon Search for Danger, a 1949, detective
yes.
thriller.
So you've
Which
seen every other movie in that franchise, and you've decided that is the best one.
No, I've only in that specific franchise, I've only seen that one, and I think it's the best one.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm sure you. Yeah. I know you watched that. I know you
Yeah,
watched that.
The Falcon
Yeah.
Search for Danger is really the best one out of the Falcon movies. And then number 17, you got the 1947, The Return of Rin Tin Tin. Obviously, I don't think you could put anything else in the number 17 slot.
No.
And then 18, what are you going to do other than go with Freddy versus Jason? Which also, fun fact,
How the
what?
fuck does that work?
Wait, so you're adding the two franchises together and cheating? Is that what you're saying?
What do you mean?
How
The
is that
Mindless
18
win.
in
That's
either of
exactly
those
what you're doing.
franchises?
Yeah, that doesn't count. You've
Yeah, no,
screwed up,
you've
sir.
cheated. You've cheated.
So,
you cheated.
so let me just say one thing, and
Oh.
if you'll,
No,
my
I won't- I,
fun
like,
fact,
straight up
my
won't have
fun
this. This
fact.
bit
No,
can
no, no.
end
We
now,
need
'cause I
to.
won't have this.
No. We need to speak about one thing. The Freddy versus Jason universe is the only franchise in film that has exactly 18 installments. So there is no other way for my list to work. So if that makes my list invalid, that's fine. But I am finishing my list because I feel like I have accomplished something impressive. Okay. And if that one thing invalidates it, fine. Take my
It
medal
does,
off
and that's
my
fine.
name.
Continue. I can
Strip
find
my
a couple of
name
things,
off the
but yes,
wall.
I will absolutely continue though.
Okay, and then number 19, we're going all the way over to Japan with Koichiro Uno Sex Stories, which is the 19th installment in in what I can surmise is a soft porn. Oh, hello. Okay, Brennan just left.
Nice. Okay.
So it's a softcore porno franchise in Japan that gets theater releases, and I figure it's got a story. It's not just porn. Like there's
releases.
It's got theater
I
releases.
guess there are porn theaters out there. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, and then going to the end here, just about our number 20 movie, and the end of the list is really the payoff. You got Koichiro Uno Sex Stories,
Okay,
right?
okay, let's move.
And then number 20, you're gonna go watch Debbie Does Dallas S&M,
Dude.
circa 2005.
I hate this.
Screw
I
you,
hate
because
this.
already.
if you
Which
just
I
stuck
have
with porno,
confirmed.
Rob, you could have gone to like fucking
confirmed.
60.
I have confirmed that Debbie Does Dallas is a canonical franchise that gets theater releases in Texas.
I just removed Rob as my friend on Discord.
Okay,
So you could have
and
kept
rounding it out,
going, man. If you just
wanna-
did all porn.
I just want to say, like, this is my last movie. I went to number 21,
And it was
for
all
for
this.
It's a very specific reason. It's all for so we can all watch
21 Jump
together.
Street.
No, fuck. It's
the 21st
so we can
movie.
It's so we can all watch together the 21st James Bond movie,
Oh.
Die Another Day.
Oh. All right.
Wait,
Okay.
is that the 21st movie?
Yeah, I mean, he
Yeah.
really messed up.
21st,
Rob was going.
That's the only one I've ever seen.
That is the
I saw
21st
At that
movie.
point, yes, no. At that point, that is canonical. Yeah, that is one canon. So he is right there. That is the 21st movie in that franchise. Canonically.
The original goal of my project was to get to the 25th James Bond movie being Skyfall, and then I realized I just couldn't. You get to 20 movies, and it's like you got to go real deep. I mean, I couldn't even find any on Wikipedia if I wanted to.
Yeah, and that's also a
It was
reboot.
getting rough.
What was that?
I mean, it's also part of the reboot franchise too. I mean, it is the 25th one, but it's not like it's a whole thing. It's not the same canon in that way. It reestablishes the canon.
Okay, it's not on my list. So, like, to be fair,
Yeah, no. So I'm glad you put us all through that.
I only had one error.
Whoa, I disagree.
I followed the rules to a T.
That's fine. We'll keep fighting after this episode ends. But for now, thank everyone so much for listening to another episode of the Buttery Males podcast. I'm Brennan Boris. These are my co-hosts.
I'm Jake Domanski.
Rob Morrissey. I made the greatest movie franchise of all time.
That is very true. I'm Zach Morton. I accept defeat. My 9 were bullshit compared to that.
I guess at a certain point in the night, you're just so tired of watching good movies that you need to start jerking off. So at a certain point, I guess I do understand that Rob's movies are good.
Does Dallas S&M right after a nice like Japanese
how about
sex
Debbie
story?
does SNL live from New York? It's her pussy and tits. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.